Welcome back to Celebrew, your go-to for the boldest celebrity tea with zero fluff. Today, we're diving headfirst into a controversy that's shaking Disney, South Park, and Hollywood all at once. Rachel Zegler, once hailed as the next big thing, is now at the center of a cultural storm. After being brutally parodied by South Park and reportedly demanding the episode be banned. From a box office bomb to becoming the internet's favorite punchline, this is the unraveling of a Disney princess like you've never seen before. Let's get into it. South Park's savage parody of Rachel Zegler and Disney South Park didn't hold back. In a no-holds-barred episode, they introduced a parody film called Woke White, the Reinvention, taking a direct jab at Rachel Zegler and Disney's direction. With their Snow White remake, the episode mocked Disney's fixation with diversity, equity, and inclusion, portraying beloved characters being replaced for the sake of ticking representation checkboxes. Zegler's character in the parody was arrogant, self-righteous, and deeply disconnected from traditional fairy tale charm. Dialogue like, "You offer it to me freely in place of the patriarchy," was intentionally absurd, calling out the over-politicization of classic stories. Viewers quickly recognized it as a brutal caricature of Zegler's real-life interviews, where she dismissed the idea of Snow White needing a prince. But what made this parody even more savage? It was aired in typical South Park fashion, irreverent, unapologetic, and biting. From mocking Disney's creative strategy to turning Rachel into a preachy meme, South Park made sure everyone watching knew who they were talking about. Zegler's alleged backlash and demands according to insiders, Rachel Zegler didn't take the parody lightly. In fact, she reportedly lost it behind the scenes, calling the South Park episode defamatory and humiliating. Sources close to her claim she reached out to her team immediately, demanding that Comedy Central pull the episode altogether. She allegedly viewed the episode as a targeted attack on her character and career. Instead of laughing it off or ignoring the noise, she reportedly doubled down, framing it as a personal assault rather than a cultural satire. But the internet was already running wild. Clips of the episode were spreading like wildfire across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. The more she pushed back, the more viewers interpreted her response as an inability to handle criticism, making the situation worse. The Simpsons join. In just when it seemed like the South Park roast was the peak, The Simpsons jumped into the fray. In a move that surprised many, considering The Simpsons is under the Disney umbrella, the iconic animated show aired its own parody, Snow Woke, the Reimagining. This version of Snow White was equally scathing. The character was self-absorbed, combative, and obsessed with her own virtue. She rejected help from men, dismissed romantic love, and practically lectured every other character she met. The message was clear. Even Disney's own shows were satirizing the company's awkward rebranding of its classic stories. Zegler's portrayal was again being lampooned, and the satire didn't end with The Simpsons. Jack Black allegedly confronts Zegler behind the scenes. Things were reportedly getting even messier. Hollywood legend Jack Black allegedly confronted Rachel Zegler after her interview clips and comments went viral. According to sources close to the production, Jack was frustrated, not just with her behavior, but with the film's final product. He supposedly believed the film lacked heart, soul, and chemistry, especially between Zegler and co-star Gal Gadot. He reportedly voiced his concerns, claiming that their performances were stiff and unconvincing. The confrontation was so intense, insiders say it pushed Zegler into therapy. While some dismissed these reports as rumors, others saw it as a clear sign of how seriously the backlash was affecting her behind the scenes. Disney's Snow White, a financial disaster. Despite a production and marketing budget exceeding $200 million, Disney's Snow White remake barely scraped together $43 million on its opening weekend. For a legacy title expected to bring in over $150 million, this was a catastrophic underperformance. Empty theaters, unopened merchandise, and unsold popcorn buckets told the story. Audiences weren't buying what Disney was selling. Even Zegler's own premiere felt like a ghost town. She reportedly watched the film in a near-empty theater, flanked only by a few friends trying to cheer her up. Critics were harsh, but the public was harsher. The film didn't just underperform, it vanished from cultural conversation almost, immediately. For a project meant to be a defining moment for Zegler and Disney, it was anything but. Zegler's controversial comments resurfaced long before the film's release. Rachel Zegler made headlines for her controversial comments, both in interviews and on social media. In one clip, she declared that she didn't need her critics, business, and that people would always wait in line to see her work, but it was her political takes that really ignited backlash. Zegler had posted comments wishing Trump supporters would never know peace, effectively alienating a large portion of the potential audience. In a country that remains politically divided, these remarks didn't just age poorly, they actively contributed to the film's downfall. Commentators argued that she didn't respect her audience and was using the role as a platform for virtue signaling. The dwarf controversy and Peter Dinklage's influence. Initially, Disney planned to include the iconic Seven Dwarfs in the remake, but actor Peter Dinklage publicly criticized the idea, calling it regressive. Disney swiftly reacted by replacing them with magical CGI creatures. This decision sparked outrage among little-person actors. Many saw the roles as rare and significant opportunities in an industry that often overlooks them. Some argued that by trying to be progressive, Disney had ironically erased representation and taken away jobs. The new magical creatures failed to impress. Audiences mocked their design, saying they looked like generic fantasy NPCs from a forgotten video game. Instead of preserving beloved characters with updated nuance, Disney replaced them with soulless substitutes. Cultural commentators sound. The alarm commentators like Joe Rogan and Bill Maher joined the backlash, questioning Disney's approach to modernizing classic stories. Rogan criticized the lack of authenticity, saying people go to the movies to escape, not to be lectured. Maher echoed the sentiment, pointing out the absurdity of labeling the prince as a stalker and removing romance from a fairy tale built around love triumphing over evil. The consensus was clear. The film sacrificed joy, heart, and magic in favor of forced political messaging. By prioritizing ideology over storytelling, Disney had alienated both traditional fans and general audiences. Zegler's persistent public missteps. Instead of damage control, Zegler often poured gasoline on the fire. She made comments like, "Andrew's scenes could be cut," and doubled down on the decision to remove the romantic subplot. Each new interview seemed to confirm public fears that she didn't like the source material, didn't care about fans, and saw the role more as a soapbox than a story. Rather than staying quiet or apologizing, she insisted the film was more relevant than ever, a statement that only invited more mockery. Her refusal to acknowledge criticism made her above Hollywood's growing panic over woke. Flop Snow White wasn't just a movie, it became a litmus test for Hollywood's direction. After other misfires like Lightyear and Strange World, Disney's strategy of overcorrecting for diversity without respecting storytelling is now under intense scrutiny. Investors are unhappy, executives are scrambling, and audiences are sending a clear message. If you insult tradition and treat beloved stories like ideological lectures, they will tune out. Rumors of layoffs swirled as the financial damage became clear. The Zegler-led remake was supposed to be a surefire hit. Instead, it's now considered a case study in how to ruin a classic. Rachel Zegler's turn as Snow White was supposed to be a career-defining fairy tale. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale about ego, ideology, and Hollywood's disconnect from its audience. From animated takedowns to box office silence, this saga reveals a deeper truth about where the entertainment industry is heading and how far it's strayed. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more no BS celebrity analysis. Right here on Celebrew, we serve the hottest tea, freshly brewed. Until next time, stay steeped in the drama.